Good morning, everyone. Sorry I can't be with you today. Today we are learning how to graph a rule for algebra. So I've got my graph paper here, which your teacher will give to you. And what we're doing is taking our charts from last day. So here is the chart from our graphing practice worksheet that we had. And I'm looking here at rule number 3. If you were away, there are extra copies at the front, so your teacher can give those to you. So you'll have to figure out the chart for each rule first, and then actually the rule. You don't actually need the rule for graphing though. So the chart is the most important piece. So I'm just going to set this off to the side, but I see here my position numbers are here, and here are the number of tiles. So when we graph this, the position number is actually going to go on the x-axis, and the number of tiles will go on the y-axis. And that's really important because I need to know how tall to make my graph and how wide I need to make my graph. So my tallest number so far is 7, and then my widest number is 3. Keep in mind though that part of the assignment was to go up to position 10, so I will have to get to 10 here, and then I'll have to use whatever number this is. So I'm just going to leave that for now. I know that most of you were able to complete that. So here's our graph paper, and I found a spot here by counting, and I've just marked where I want to start my line. So using a ruler, I'm going to go across to about 10. There, that's good. And then I'm just going to go all the way to the top of the page. I've given you smaller squared graph paper, so you don't have to use such a big chart. And you should be able to fit more than one graph on per paper. Okay, so there's my graph, and now I'm just going to fill in my numbers. And I could put 11 on there, I guess. And so I have a choice here. I can go up by 2s, I can go up by 1s, I can go up by 10s if I wanted to. So I'm looking back here at my chart, and my numbers are, it looks like they're all going to be odd. So 2s aren't really the way I want to go. So for this chart, I'm just going to go up by 1s. But I could use a different scale. So this is 0. And this is 15. Okay, so there's my chart. And of course we need to label our axes. So remember, x-axis is going to be position number. And the y-axis, I'm going to turn it sideways because I like to do it that way. This one is going to be number of tiles. Actually, in this case, let's take a look. Hold on a second. Is that right? These aren't actually tiles. These are Christmas trees or pine trees. So I'm going to say number of trees. Okay, so now when I graph this, it's a simple graphing technique that I'm sure you've learned long ago. So position number 1, we have 3 tiles. So 1 gets a 3. Position 2 is 5. Position 3 is 7. Okay, so there's my dots, and I'm going to join them using my ruler, of course. So there's my line. What's interesting about using a graph is you can actually extend your line. So if I line up my right like that, well, I'll let you extend the line to see what happens. And so when you extend the line, you're going to notice something about the y-axis and the x-axis, which is what we're doing today. So in class, I would like you to complete one of these. Doesn't matter which one, your choice. Remember, we didn't do rule 2, and there's a reason for that. Although, if you figured it out, you could graph it, and you could see why you weren't able to figure it out. So you can do rule 1 or rule 4 on your own, and then I'd like you to make up your own rule. So remember last day we had these rules. So if you wanted to choose one of these, you can. I'll leave them up here at the front for the teacher to hand out. But if you want to come up with your own rule, go ahead and do that. So today's assignment is to do graph one of these using graph paper, and then graph one of these, and then your teacher will write some questions on the board for you. Please staple your graph paper to your rule paper and hand that in today. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, guys.